Hello everyone, chapter 6 Habitat. What is a habitat? A place where plants and animals or all the living organisms get their resources and needs to survive is known as habitat. And the different types of species have different specific materials to survive which they get from their habitat. Example, food, water, shelter, air, and this is also known as biome. And habitat is divided into terrestrial habitats and aquatic habitats, and that is on the land and inside the water. And terrestrial lands is divided into desert, mountains, grasslands, and aquatic habitats into oceans and ponds, where we can find a wide variety of organisms. And here you can see all the living organisms, whether it is animal, plants, or fungi, or everything comes under living organisms. And food chain. Let's see a food chain. Food chain shows us how energy is passed along from one organisms to another. The energy moves along the chain when the plants or animals is eaten. Living organisms. Plants also comes under living organisms. And according to the habitat they possess in different plant forms, it is divided into trees, shrubs, herbs, aquatic plants, and so many. And plants, we have different types of plants in forest, like large trees, conifers in mountains, and meadows in open areas, wetlands or bogs, tundra or barren in alpine areas. So plant also differs according to their habitat. Tree, pond, and house are some examples of habitat. Several kinds of plants and animals share the same habitat. Habitat shows the diversity of nature and specific to particular organism living there. Birds often change habitat. So according to the climatic conditions or the better living, they will also change their habitat. Like birds, before they will change their habitat before laying eggs. And so we must not destroy the habitat for our own satisfaction or for our needs. We have to protect our environment and also the land for other organisms too. Now let's see organisms living in extreme conditions. See here a polar bear. It has a capacity to live under a extreme cold condition. We can find these polar bears in the polar regions. And this organism which is deep inside the ocean, where there is even not light can reach, it will have the capacity to live in such a condition also. So different organisms have different type of adaptations to tolerate the extreme conditions. Air, water, and soil from an essential part of our surroundings. The life of an organism is thus affected by the living and non-living things around it. Everything surroundings and affecting an organism is known as its environment. So whatever environment is there where they are living, they will get adapt, and they will have some adaptations to survive at that extreme conditions. Habitats are of two, that is terrestrial and aquatic. We have seen in terrestrial it is classified into forest, grassland, desert, mountains, and polar regions. In aquatic it is classified into freshwater habitats, marine habitats, and coastal habitats. And in terrestrial habitats we have forest, grassland, and deserts. In forest we have large trees, and in grasslands we have open areas, and in desert we have only desert but no trees. It refers to the land where all plants and animals survive. Animals and plants which live on land are called as terrestrial animals and terrestrial plants. And animals and plants living on the land respire oxygen from air. They release carbon dioxide during this process. So the plants and animals, or all the other living organisms which are living on the land, are called as terrestrial organisms. Let's see the habitats of desert. What is a desert? A hot desert is a sandy place which does not receive very much rainfall. Only special kind of plants can grow in a desert, like cactus and spinifex. And animals that live in desert include lizards, bilbies, and camels. And what are rainforest? Rainforests are damp and unusually warm. They have heavy rainfall, so many trees and plants can grow there. Moss, funguses, and frogs live on the ground of a rainforest. Parrots, bats, and the spotted cockroaches can be found in the trees. And in oceans, oceanars has a different zones depending on how much sunlight it receives. Fish, dolphins, seaweeds live in the warm water of the ocean. Deep in the ocean, where it is cold and dark, live giant squid and giant eels. Alpines. Alpine are high cold areas in the mountain with snow and ice are called alpines. Not many plants and trees can survive there. Some type of mosses and wildflowers live in alpine areas. Mountains, goats and some lizards also live there. And wetlands are humid areas with still shallow water that may be salty or fresh. Water weeds and lilies are found in wetlands. Frogs, tortoise, fish and platypuses live in the wetlands, as well as many birds and insects. Other names of for wetlands include swamps and billabongs. Okay. Now let's see the forest. Where we are in forest, we find different types of living organisms like tiger and the monkeys. And plants can synthesize their own food and store in their body. And animals make use of this food for survival. And they will eat the other animals, tiger and everything. So the and plants utilizes water, temperature, sunlight for and prepare their own food. And these are eaten by the herbivorous animals, and herbivorous animals are eaten by the carnivorous animals. And forest, tropical forest are known as rainforest, are the forest which occur between equator and two tropic. The temperature is maintained between 20 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius. They receive rainfall throughout the year. Annual rainfall is about 20 degrees, 200 centimeters. Different types of flora and fauna occurs in this forest. Flora and fauna means plants and animals. Terms: temperature forest occur in Northeast Asia, North America and Central Europe. Temperature ranges between 30 degrees centigrade to 30 degrees Celsius. Annual rainfall is about 150 centimeters and they receive throughout the year. And summer season is demarcated from winter season. Trees are deciduous trees. Boreal forest are also called as taiga forest. These forests are scattered over many places which include China, Canada, Russia, Northern Japan and etc. Temperature ranges between 50 degrees centigrade to 30 degrees centigrade. Annual snowfall ranges from 40 to 100 centimeters. And grasslands, we have seen temperature ranges from minus 20 to 30 degrees centigrade and rainfall will be 50 centimeters. And animals like zebra, giraffe, lion and elephant and other forest possess skin color as to match their environment. Lions, so they hide themselves in grasslands. So here you can see the color of the environment and the lion. So they can hide from the animals, and so they can catch their prey. They possess strong claws and teeth to tear the food, and that is they will catch their prey like these deer. They have sharp eyesight. So deer possess long ears. Here you can see long ears, have a sharp hearing sense. Deer possess eyes on the sides of its head which make it look in all directions. They have long legs to run fast. And the animals and the plants which we find in desert areas are camels, desert tortoise and prickly pear cactus and cactus, because there is a scarcity of water. That's why we find this type of plants in the desert areas. And in mountains, mostly we find all the that will be rocky and or dry, and sometimes under that water occurs as flowing streams. Plants present on hills are xerophytes. These are conical and evergreen. Many climbers are found covering the huge trees, and these are the trees present here on the mountains. And as the height of the mountains increases, temperatures falls down and animals are adapted to live in the cold condition. Winds are dry and cold. Animals like yak, deer, hill goats and flying fox are the examples of this habitat. This is a snow leopard and it is a hill goats where they will live on hills. and where the condition is too cold and air is dry. And in polar regions, we have seen which is at the peak of the North Pole and the South Pole, and we find there polar bears, and it is ice cold winter, and we see all this type of animals. Polar bears, seals, foxes are seen, and penguins are seen standing in the ice. Fish are adapted to live in the ice cold water, and certain fishes. And aquatic habitats, we have seen these animals which have the ability to survive in a deep water. And aquatic habitats, when it comes to plants, some aquatic plants float on water, some have their roots fixed in the soil at the bottom, some aquatic plants are completely submerged in water. See here, these plants are completely submerged in water, but whereas in some plants only roots are attached to the bottom of the land, and their flowers are above the water. And here these type of plants are called floating plants, where roots are present inside the water, whereas the other part of the plant are present above the water for the photosynthesis, so they can trap the sunlight and prepare their own food. And depending upon the how they survive in aquatic animals, aquatic habitats of the plants, it is of freshwater habitats, marine habitats, and coastal habitats. Water is the medium for the organism living in aquatic habitats. Freshwater habitats, in freshwater it is filled with fresh water, and it includes rivers, lakes, ponds, streams, etc. And where water has very low concentration of salts, plants growing in water are called hydrophytes. In this water, like we have rivers, lakes, and ponds, plants which we found in this we are the hydrophytes. And marine habitats means the ocean or the seas, where the water is salty, and the organisms exist in marine habitat, like shelled animals, sponges, jellyfish, shark, and many other are found in these habitats, and they are called as marine habitats. And soil, we have also different types of soils in different regions. So soil also has certain adaptations. Soil is the topmost layer of the earth. Soil is rich in minerals and microorganisms which help in different ways for plant growth. Soil also possesses certain spaces which lodges water particles, which means it will have the capacity to accumulate inside it water. This water lodge in the spaces is used by the plants by the process of absorption. So they will plants will absorb those water, and they will survive in the soil. And we have different types of soils, and in soil we can also find different types of living organisms, or the single-celled organisms, or the microorganisms. And water, 3/4 of the earth is covered with water. Water is essential for life. Water forms a medium for many metabolic reactions taking place inside the body. Water can be fresh water or marine water. Animals living in water are called aquatic organisms. Plants especially living in water are called as hydrophytes. Humidity and rain are also the form of water which help the living organisms. Let's see the coastal habitats. These are the mangrove plants which have the capacity to live under extreme salt water, and these are called as coastal habitats. And these regions are the place where the land meets the sea. Estuaries are formed when the salt water mixes with fresh water. These habitats are unique special type of trees called the mangroves, and the plant growing in these conditions are called as mangrove plants are found in this type of water. Animals are also well adapted to live in these regions. And adaptation we have seen according to the climatic condition and the availability of the food and the whatever present there, the animals or the living organisms that have certain adaptations, and also certain organisms will also change their adaptations according to the climatic conditions. And that is change in structure behavior of an organism, so that will allow the organisms to survive in that habitat. Plants and animals make some natural and adjustments in some features to fit themselves in their environment. Different living organisms adapt themselves to their habitat in different ways. Adaptations can be brought about by changes in the body, changes in the behavior, and changes in location. And these are the components of habitats, means biotic and abiotic. So if the biotic components includes all the living organisms, that is plants, animals and microorganisms, and abiotic components includes all the non-living things in habitat, example air, soil, water, sunlight and temperature. The favorable conditions for survival of living organisms are provided by abiotic components only. And air also plays a major role in the survival of the living organisms on earth, and because it provides oxygen for respiration. Plants take carbon dioxide and during the process of photosynthesis, and air also provides nitrogen which fixes to the plants for utilization. Air is required by organisms to cool their body. Winds help in generating energy. Wind also help in carrying the seed for distant places. Sunlight is the ultimate source of energy for all the living organisms on earth. Plant depends on sunlight for synthesis of their own food by the process called photosynthesis, and animal depends on plants for their food, and that is indirectly they depend on sunlight. And now let's see temperature. It depends on the sunlight available at a particular place. Temperature also influences the humidity of the particular place. Area may be too hot, moderate or too cool. Some animals hibernate during cool winter, and some of them estivate during hot summer. Let's see the characters of the living beings. Living things require food. Living things exhibit growth. Living things perform respiration. Living things excrete. Living things move. Living things respond to stimuli. Living things respond. Living things also dies. So these are the characteristics of the living things. Now let's see how the living things prepare their food. We know plants prepare their own food by the process called photosynthesis, and respiration through stomata, and chlorophyll is a green color pigment which absorbs the sunlight, and animals will depend on food on these plants, and the bigger animals depends on the small animals or the herbivorous. The carnivorous animals eat these small animals, and animals are called as heterotrophs because they are dependent on others for their food. They can't prepare their own food. Based on the nutrition, heterotrophs are classified into holozoic form and parasitic form, and saprophytic forms and symbiotic forms. Means holozoic forms, parasitic forms. Parasitic forms means they are dependent on others for their food. Saprophytic forms means they will live on the other organisms for their food, and symbiotic forms means they will live together with other organisms. And living things or the living organisms also grows. Here you can see plants also from seeds to the tree it will grow, and human beings also from a newborn baby to a child to a children, and then adolescent, then adolescence, and then to a adult, and after that to old, and then it will die. And we also breathe through our lungs, and this is the process of respiration, breathing out and breathing in. We breathe out carbon dioxide and take oxygen which is supplied by the plants. This is how we do respiration. And living things also excrete. Whatever we eat we also excrete, and plant eliminates harmful waste substances in the form of secretions such as resins and gums. Animal possess different organs for excretion. Animals excrete their wastage in the form of ammonia or urea or uric acid, carbon dioxide and certain salts. And but whereas all the living organisms move from one place to another, so it has a movement, and whereas plants can't move. And in plants we have certain responses also. Plant also possess certain stimuli like sunflower. With the sunlight it will have a stimulate. With the presence in the presence of the sun it will move where the sun moves. And in do not touch me plant, if we touch the leaves of the do not touch me plant, it will shrinks. Living things also reproduce. All living things reproduce. Some animals lay eggs while others reproduce by giving birth to young ones. Plants produce seeds that can germinate into new plants. Some plants do not produce seeds but give rise to new plant in different ways. Here you can see a seed is germinating and it is developing into a or growing into a plant. Here a woman having a child, and here a hen having a chick. And all living things also dies. It will reproduce, it will grow, it will have the growth, it will also excrete, it will breathe, and has the movement, and finally it will also die. All living things must die one day or the other. As an organism grows, it undergoes many changes during its lifetime. Finally, it undergoes aging process and dies after some time. Though all living beings experience many changes throughout their life, but we can say that life is happening and beautiful. So they are born, they grow, they reproduce, and they will die. Thank you.